This is the betrayal nobody thought they'd see, and it's got the hip-hop world gasping for air. Remy Ma, usually tight-lipped when it comes to her private drama, has just dropped a bomb that has everyone scrambling for answers. Out of nowhere, she took to Instagram late last night and posted a series of screenshots, and not just any screenshots. These were private, never-before-seen messages between Claressa Shields and a mystery friend, allegedly proving that Claressa never truly loved Papoose, and that their relationship was nothing more than a convenience. The captions? Savage. The tone? Ice cold. Remy didn't hold back. She wrote, "Truth hurts, but lies hurt worse. Time for people to see what I've been dealing with." Within minutes, the screenshots went viral. Fans were zooming in, cross-referencing timestamps, and trying to match the contact name in Claressa's phone to known associates. The messages showed Claressa allegedly bragging about keeping Papoose around for clout and hinting that she could never see him as the one. And here's the kicker: one of those messages was sent just days before Claressa publicly posted a gushy tribute to Papoose. Why is Remy choosing to leak this now? And who exactly was Claressa texting when she spilled this shocking confession? To understand just how devastating these leaked messages are, you have to go way back to the complicated triangle that's been brewing for over a year between Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields. It all started innocently enough. Claressa, the self-proclaimed greatest woman of all time in boxing, had always admired Papoose's loyalty to Remy. Publicly, she called them a power couple and even referred to Papoose as a model man in interviews. At first, it seemed harmless, until whispers began circulating that Papoose and Claressa were spending more time together behind the scenes than anyone realized. Back then, Remy brushed it off. She was focused on her career, hosting shows, and staying in the spotlight. But insiders claim that privately, she was already hearing unsettling stories from mutual friends, like how Claressa would show up at events where Papoose was performing without even telling Remy she'd be there, or how Papoose had suddenly started training with Claressa's boxing coach under the guise of getting fit. Then came the infamous charity gala incident. Pap and Claressa were photographed laughing together in a way that didn't sit right with fans and Remy. When the photo hit social media, commenters immediately pointed out the undeniable chemistry. Memes exploded. Hashtags like #Pap and Claressa started trending. Remy's public reaction? Calm, collected, and slightly dismissive. She posted, "A picture is just a picture. Don't get too excited." But behind closed doors, sources say she confronted Papoose and demanded to know exactly what was going on. What followed over the next few months was a slow burn of suspicion. Pap was reportedly becoming more distant, and Claressa seemed to pop up everywhere he was. Rumors of secret training sessions and late-night strategy talks wouldn't die. At the same time, Remy's own trust in Claressa began to fracture. The breaking point came when Remy received an anonymous DM allegedly from someone close to Claressa, claiming that Claressa had been talking about Papoose in a way that was disrespectful and borderline humiliating. The message hinted that Claressa saw Papoose as a stepping stone into hip-hop circles, not as a man she genuinely cared for. Still, without hard proof, Remy stayed quiet. Until now. That's why the timing of these leaked messages is so shocking. These aren't just vague accusations or fuzzy screenshots from unknown sources. They are clear, time-stamped conversations that appear to come directly from Claressa's own phone. One of the most damning messages reads, "I mean, Pap is sweet and all, but I can't take him seriously. I'm not trying to be in love. I just know being around him makes people talk about me more. It's business." Another, sent just before Valentine's Day, says, "I could never see myself with him for real. Too old school, but he's useful. Lol." These weren't drunken rants or one-off comments. The exchange spans multiple days, suggesting this was an ongoing mindset, not a moment of frustration, and now the entire world is questioning everything. Were Claressa's public posts about Papoose's genuine affection, or carefully curated PR moves? Was Papoose blindsided by this, or was he aware of her attitude all along? Remy, for her part, has made it clear she's done protecting anyone's image. In one of her Instagram stories after posting the screenshots, she wrote, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." If this is truly the beginning of Remy going public with everything she knows, then we're looking at the start of one of the most brutal, unfiltered celebrity takedowns in years. And the worst part, multiple insiders are saying this isn't even the most explosive thing she has on Claressa. Which begs the question, if these are just the first leaks, what could possibly be next? Because from the look of it, this is about to go from a messy love triangle to full-on scorched earth. When the screenshots first hit Remy Ma's Instagram, fans assumed they were the result of some anonymous tip or maybe even a third-party leak. But within hours, whispers began to circulate, whispers that Remy hadn't gotten these messages by accident. According to a source close to the situation, the chain of events started weeks ago when Remy attended a private industry dinner in Midtown Manhattan. The dinner wasn't anything out of the ordinary, just a small gathering of label executives, artists, and a few industry journalists. But in that room was someone who would change the trajectory of this entire feud, a former friend of Claressa's inner circle. This insider, who we'll call T, had allegedly fallen out with Claressa after a dispute over money and brand deals. T had been sitting on a treasure trove of receipts, waiting for the right time to use them. And when they saw Remy that night alone, sipping wine in a corner, they saw their opportunity. The conversation started off casually, but then T leaned in and allegedly said, "You have no idea what she's been saying about Pap. She's been playing him like a game, and I've got the proof." What happened next feels straight out of a movie. T pulled out their phone, opened up a hidden photo album, and scrolled through screenshot after screenshot of Claressa's private messages. The timestamps lined up perfectly with key moments in the public timeline: Valentine's Day posts, birthday shoutouts, and those cozy event photos. And yet, behind the scenes, Claressa was mocking Papoose, talking about how she could get better exposure by sticking around him a little longer, and even bragging about making him jealous with younger guys. Remy, sources say, didn't react right away. She simply asked T to send everything to her. And when T hesitated, Remy allegedly made an offer, something that made those screenshots change hands within minutes. But here's where the first twist comes in, and it's one that even die-hard Remy fans didn't see coming. Multiple people have now come forward claiming that Papoose himself may have known about these messages for months and said nothing. Why? Because, according to these insiders, Papoose believed he could change Claressa's mind about him. He reportedly told a friend, "She's just talking like that because she's scared of commitment. I'll show her I'm different. This revelation changes everything." Instead of being blindsided like everyone assumed, Papoose might have been willingly ignoring the red flags, and in doing so, left Remy in the dark. Fans are already speculating online about why Pap would stay quiet. Was it pride? Embarrassment? Or was there something else about his connection with Claressa that he didn't want anyone, especially Remy, to know? The tension between Remy and Papoose exploded the moment these messages went public. One insider claims the two had a heated phone call that could be heard through closed doors, with Remy allegedly shouting, "You let me sit here defending you," while she was laughing in your face. Meanwhile, Claressa hasn't exactly gone into hiding. Instead, she's been posting cryptic Instagram stories, black backgrounds with quotes like, "Not everything you see is the truth, and the loudest person in the room is usually the most guilty." But perhaps the most telling was one post where she wrote, "If you think those messages are real, you're more gullible than I thought." The problem for Claressa? The evidence seems airtight. The tone matches her known texting style, the timestamps match her public whereabouts, and even the slang lines up with her usual social media lingo. And just when fans thought they'd digested all the drama, another insider leak dropped late last night. According to a different source, this one claiming to be close to Remy, the screenshots weren't the only thing he handed over. In that same album were voice notes allegedly sent by Claressa to a friend, where she could be heard laughing about Papoose buying her gifts like a sugar daddy and calling him a walking PR move. If those voice notes are real, then the public hasn't even seen the most damaging evidence yet. And from what this source says, Remy is holding onto them like a trump card, waiting for the right moment to unleash them. This raises a chilling question if Remy is willing to leak these initial messages as a warning shot. What is she planning to do next? And could the next drop be so explosive that it not only destroys Claressa's reputation but also drags Papoose into the dirt with her? Because make no mistake, the minute those audio receipts hit the internet, this won't just be a feud. It will be a war. By the morning after Remy Ma's post, this wasn't just a hip-hop headline, it was everywhere. From breakfast talk shows to TMZ street interviews, from gossip YouTube channels to meme accounts on Instagram. The Claressa Shields never loved Papoose leak had hijacked the internet. Twitter was on fire with hashtags like #Remy receipts, #Claressa exposed, and even #Poppy in the middle, racking up millions of impressions in hours. The sheer speed of the spread was dizzying. Every time Claressa tried to post something to deflect, screenshots of her alleged messages were reposted underneath in the comments, with fans spamming, "We've seen the receipts and stop lying." But this was just a surface level chaos. Behind the scenes, something far more dangerous was brewing. According to an exclusive insider leak, Remy had sent private copies of the screenshots and those alleged voice notes to a handful of powerful bloggers and media figures. Not for them to post immediately, but to hold on to. Why? Because Remy was playing chess, not checkers. One blogger claims they received a DM from Remy's verified account that read, "This isn't all. If she keeps talking, drop it." And as if on cue, Claressa did keep talking. In an Instagram live that drew over 80,000 viewers in real time, Claressa directly addressed the accusations for the first time. Wearing a designer tracksuit and sitting in what appeared to be her living room, she looked into the camera and said, "Let me make this clear. Those messages are fake, and if Pap believes them, then he never knew me at all. Remy can post whatever she wants. I'm not scared of her." The chat section went wild. Emojis flooded the screen, laughing faces, fire flames, clown icons as fans accused her of acting unbothered while clearly being rattled. The moment that live ended, the speculation got even darker. That's when the shocking reveal hit. A major gossip podcast dropped a bombshell segment claiming they had heard the alleged voice notes. They didn't play them, likely for legal reasons, but they described them in detail. According to the hosts, one voice note features Claressa laughing while saying, "He Papoose thinks I'm with him for love? Please. He's good for publicity and gifts. That's it." Another reportedly has her mocking Pap for being old school and too slow to catch on, and even joking about finding someone younger for fun. The podcast hosts claimed the tone and speech patterns were undeniably Claressa's, and that's when social media completely lost it. Twitter threads began dissecting old interviews and posts, with fans pulling up moments where Claressa might have been throwing subtle shade at Papoose. Some even pointed to an old viral clip where she rolled her eyes when a reporter asked about him, calling it proof she never respected him. Celebrities started chiming in too, though carefully. A well-known female rapper tweeted, "Ladies, don't take from a man you don't see a future with. That's foul." Fans instantly assumed it was about Claressa. A popular male R&B singer posted a cryptic Instagram story that read, "Protect Pap at all costs," which was reshared thousands of times. And then, Remy Ma posted again. This time, it wasn't more messages, it was a short, black and white clip of her staring into the camera and saying one word, "Soon." No caption, no hashtag, just soon. It was the kind of pose that makes the internet hold its breath. Fans knew exactly what she meant. The voice notes were coming, but here's where things got even messier. A new rumor began to swirl, one that could flip the entire narrative. Multiple unverified sources started claiming that some of the voice notes might have been edited or taken out of context. In other words, the real conversations might not be as bad as they sound. This raises a chilling question. If even one of those clips turns out to be manipulated, does that make Remy the villain in this story? Or will the public still side with her because they believe Claressa is guilty anyway? One thing's for sure, every eye in the industry is now locked on Remy's next move. If she drops those voice notes, Claressa's career could take a devastating hit. But if she waits too long or if the audio leaks from another source, she could lose control of the story entirely. And with Claressa doubling down, Pap stuck in the middle, and Remy holding the ultimate weapon, the countdown to the next explosion has officially begun, because when those voice notes hit, the fallout won't just ruin reputations. It could destroy friendships, careers, and the very image of hip-hop's realest couple. By now, the drama between Remy Ma, Claressa Shields, and Papoose had stopped being just another messy celebrity feud and had turned into a full-blown cultural moment. The internet wasn't just talking, it was living in this story. TikTok was flooded with reaction videos, people pausing Claressa's Instagram Live to analyze her facial expressions, lip readers trying to catch her muttering under her breath, and even amateur body language experts breaking down her posture to prove she was lying. The fans split. The hip-hop community had split into two loud, equally passionate sides. On one end were the hashtag Team Remy warriors convinced Claressa was guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. These fans argued that Remy had no reason to fabricate anything, and that the consistency of her evidence spoke volumes. They spammed Claressa's posts with comments like, "Stop playing the victim. Pap deserves better. The receipts don't lie, you do." Some even started tagging brands that sponsor Claressa, demanding they cut ties with her over dishonesty and exploitation. On the other end were the hashtag Team Claressa loyalists, those who believed Remy was orchestrating a smear campaign for personal gain. Their main argument? If the proof is so real, why is she dropping it in pieces? One tweet that went viral read, "If you've got the voice notes, post them. Otherwise, this is just public humiliation for clout." Others went even deeper, theorizing that Remy's timing was strategic, pointing out that she had an upcoming album announcement. "This is marketing," they insisted. Celebrity reactions. Then came the high-profile voices weighing in. A legendary New York DJ went live on Hot 97, saying, "Look, I've known Pap for years. He's a solid dude. If this is true, it's heartbreaking. But I also know Remy, she's not one to make up stories. Something's real here." An R&B singer with millions of followers posted a selfie with the caption, "Imagine giving someone your heart, and they just use it as a stepping stone." The post was vague, but fans immediately tied it to Pap's situation. Meanwhile, an MMA fighter known to be close friends with Claressa publicly defended her on Twitter. "Y'all believe anything you see online. Claressa's got a good heart. Don't fall for the setup." Media and industry fallout. Behind the curtain, the industry was reacting just as intensely as the fans. A source close to a major hip-hop label told a gossip blog that certain brands were holding back on deals with both Remy and Claressa until the dust settled. "Nobody wants to touch this until they know who's telling the truth," the source said. Papoose, as usual, stayed silent. That silence, however, became its own statement. Fans speculated endlessly. Was he heartbroken? Was he negotiating behind the scenes? Or was he just staying quiet to keep from adding fuel to the fire? One particularly brutal meme summed it up with a picture of Pap looking serious, captioned, "When you find out you were just a PR stunt." The curveball. Just when everyone thought the story couldn't get bigger, a small but influential gossip page dropped an unexpected piece of tea. Screenshots allegedly showing Remy Ma herself messaging an anonymous blogger weeks ago, asking if they'd be interested in an exclusive on Claressa. This sent shockwaves through the conversation. Did this mean Remy had been planning this leak for a while? Was it revenge for something personal, rather than a sudden reaction to betrayal? Fans rushed to debate it, with some saying, even if she planned it, Claressa still said what she said, while others declared, "This proves it's all a setup." Every hour, the stakes rose. Every new detail, real or fake, pushed a narrative into more dangerous territory. Both women's reputations were now under siege, and the court of public opinion was becoming more ruthless by the minute. The entire hip-hop scene was locked in, and one question was on everyone's mind. What's coming next? Because no matter which side you believed, one fact was undeniable: neither Remy nor Claressa was going to back down. And that meant the next chapter wasn't just going to be bigger, it was going to be brutal. Just when the world thought this feud had reached its breaking point, an unexpected voice entered the conversation, and it wasn't a friend to either side. Late last night, a mysterious Instagram account with no profile picture and a single cryptic bio line, "Truth has no loyalty," began posting screenshots and voice notes that sent the internet into chaos. The first post, an audio clip allegedly of Papoose himself, recorded in what sounded like a heated phone call. In the clip, the male voice, eerily similar to Pap's, says, "I knew what you were doing, Claressa, but I played along because I thought I could change your mind." The account captioned it, "When the puppet master gets played too." The internet exploded. Was this Pap confirming the messages Remy leaked were real? Or was this audio manipulated to sound like him? Then came the second post, and this one was even more damning. A blurry but recognizable screenshot of a FaceTime call between Remy Ma and a man who was clearly not Papoose. The timestamp? Just 1 week before Remy started her leak campaign. The caption read, "Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house." Fans were stunned. This flipped the narrative entirely. If this was legit, it meant Remy wasn't just exposing Claressa, she had her own messy secrets to hide. Insider chaos almost immediately. Industry insiders began sliding into the DMs of major gossip pages with unverified claims. One alleged Remy only went public because she found out Claressa was about to expose her. This was a preemptive strike. Another claimed Pap's been quietly separating himself from both women, and he's sitting on receipts that could end both of their careers. Suddenly, what looked like a straightforward betrayal story had turned into a three-way web of manipulation, blackmail, and hidden agendas. The public can't keep up. Twitter was on fire. Fans didn't know who to believe anymore. One viral tweet read, "We started at Claressa used Pap, and now we're at Remy's got a mystery man, and Pap knew the whole time. Somebody roll the credits. This is a whole season of TV." TikTok users began creating conspiracy boards, mapping out timelines, cross-referencing dates on old posts, and even analyzing the furniture in the leaked screenshots to prove authenticity. Some claimed the mysterious account was actually Papoose himself, running an anonymous burner to leak the truth on his own terms. Others insisted it was a disgruntled ex-friend of Remy Ma's looking to burn bridges. The cliffhanger nobody saw coming then. Just minutes before midnight, the anonymous account dropped one final bombshell post. A 15-second teaser video with no audio, just silent clips of what appeared to be Claressa and Remy arguing face-to-face in a dimly lit parking lot, with Papoose standing between them. The video abruptly cut to black with the words, "Full story drops Friday." And that was it. No location tag, no date, no explanation, just a promise that something bigger was coming. The comments section turned into a frenzy. Is this real footage or AI? If this is Friday, I'm calling off work. Pap's face in that clip says everything. As of this morning, neither Remy, Claressa, nor Papoose has addressed the anonymous account or the new leaks. But one thing is clear, whatever's coming next won't just answer questions. It will create even more. Because in this game of receipts, revenge, and reputation, there's no such thing as the last word. And by the time Friday hits, the hip-hop world might be looking at all three of them in a completely different light. So here's where we are. A feud that started with leaked messages has now spiraled into a multi-layered storm of betrayal, revenge, and deep, dark secrets. Remy Ma pointing the finger at Claressa Shields, Claressa clapping back with her own shade, and Papoose stuck in the middle, with whispers that he's been playing a bigger game all along. And now, this mysterious account dangling a Friday drop that promises to blow the lid off everything we think we know. But the real question is, who's really telling the truth here? Is Remy a woman scorned, just exposing a manipulative friend? Is Claressa the victim of a smear campaign? Or is Papoose the puppet master, pulling strings behind the scenes and letting both women tear each other apart? I need to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Whose side are you on? Do you think those leaked messages from from Claressa were real or staged? And what about the FaceTime screenshot of Remy is a damning proof or a desperate fake? And don't forget, this story isn't over. Friday could change everything. That teaser clip of the parking lot confrontation? If that full video drops, we might finally see who's been lying, who's been playing, and who's about to have their career turned to dust. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the moment the truth breaks. Trust me, you'll want to be here the second it happens, because when this footage goes public, the internet is going to melt down. Until then, keep your eyes open, your receipts ready, and your loyalty in check. In this world, alliances change overnight, and tomorrow's truth might make today's hero the villain.